you don't know who you are, you will accept less than you deserve. You will negotiate with your peace. You will settle in relationships where you know you don't even like going home. You just do it because it's convenient. When you don't know who you are, your haters can disturb you. I actually appreciate my haters. My haters keep me grinding. I tell them all the time, if you want to pay attention to success, watch me. I ain't going nowhere for a while.
If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
Losing in life is so important, whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game. Those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better.
I live for today, and I don't care what happened yesterday. I live in the moment because that's the only thing we have in our lives are moments in time. And as soon as I've gone out that door, we can never reverse back and play it again because it's real life. It's not a dress rehearsal. So I don't really care what happens 5 minutes ago. I'm just going to keep going today and living today and enjoying myself because I know what God gives, God can take away in the flash of a second. It can all be turned upside down, and I've experienced it. Sometimes in life when everything's going great for you and you don't know good from bad, you need to experience a little rain sometimes so you can enjoy the sunshine again. And now I'm happy for the small things in life.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. And when you love the journey, the goals just happen. You hit milestones as a side effect because it doesn't matter. At that point, I don't care if I can lift this much weight or run this fast. I mean, that's cool, but I don't love it as much as I love the journey. I love the journey. What does the journey consist of? Sucking at something, failing, getting better, learning, start it over, do it again. When you fall in love with the journey, everything else takes care of itself.
The way you get to the next level of your life is keep going, keep running. Even when you don't even know, even it turns into chaos. You cannot be great if you cannot operate in chaos. That's my life. Because if you can operate in chaos, the world becomes Disneyland. Problems become scratches. I can lose my car. Somebody can blow it up. I'm gonna go have some sushi with my wife and think about the solution, not the problem.
You got to come out your comfort zone because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be.
You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. Anybody ever tell you be satisfied with what you got? Don't believe them. Get them away from you. Don't let anybody tell you, hey man, you should just be happy with. No, you should double your business, triple it. You should never be satisfied with what you got because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
Do you have any regrets?
No, don't have time to regret. We move on because we are acceptable for what we are, not what we think we should be. I'm accepted in myself by what I am, but not as I think I should be, because that's a lie. I'm a sinner, I'm an old sinner. I've done some bad things, I've done some good things. So, you just forgive yourself and move on.
You're suffering from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential. If your past self could see where you're at today, think of how impressed they would be. One of the greatest ways you can overcome self-doubt is to realize how far you've come. Maybe you're not exactly where you want to be, but you're a lot better than where you were. And the key is to wake up every single day, put one foot in front of the other, keep moving, and keep growing.
These people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know. You see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life. Maybe you're in California, see someone speeding down the road in a convertible Porsche, and you think, oh man, what a lucky bastard. The truth of the matter is that he's thinking about wrapping his expensive sports car around the next cement pillar that he comes close to. People have hard lives, and the ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind.
Taking notes, so vital. But most students who do it haven't learned a very simple rule. The first moment you get after a class, ideally right after the class, you should sit down with your notes and expand on everything you jotted down. Give it depth, flesh it out, okay? If you even wait to go home and do it a couple hours later, you will have forgotten some of your own notes. Well, that's a wasted note. But if you take the moment right after class to flesh it out, you now have a little more detail. Odds are at night, you can still recollect it. That will be a powerful addition with only about a 5-minute time investment per class. That is a good trade-off.
Anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is teaching you courage to overcome it. Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go.
Go after your dreams, right? Go after it. I never compromised that. I never allowed anybody to tell me what I was capable of accomplishing. Never let anybody tell me that I can't do. Right? I went after it. If you want to accomplish something or do something that a lot of people think is difficult to accomplish, you have to put all your eggs in one basket. There's no compromise.
You've just gone through a breakup, and it's the worst thing you've ever been through. Some of you lost your job, and you thought that job was it. And so all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, I thought my life was together, and now it's in shambles at my feet. No, it's not. It's all right. A blade does not become strong until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot, and it melts you down, and you're uncomfortable. And then life is going to pull you out, and it's going to put you on the anvil, and it's going to hammer on you some more. And you're going to say, what, am I done yet? No. You've got a lot more forge time left. You've got a lot more hammer blows left. And it takes time. Embrace the process. You say, Dwayne, what process? Life. Embrace the journey and the process of life.
We're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? Motherfucker, the purpose is you. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You have to learn how to get up and do shit when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life fucking sucks. You're in the fucking dungeon. But guess what, motherfucker? I'm still going to get it.
There's a terminology in psychiatry called relational illness. You've heard people say, you make me sick. Some people can make you sick. That if you fool around with them long enough will send you to an early grave. That will drive your blood pressure up. That will turn your hair gray. Who is it you need to get out of your life? You need to ask yourself the question, what is this relationship doing to me? It might be your spouse. It might be your children. It might be friends. It might be your job making you sick, stressing you out. And you being a volunteer victim, are you willing to die for it?
You will have good days and you'll have bad days. But you will always learn something more or something new, and you will learn more overall on bad days than good days. You will learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about relationships, you'll learn about life and principles, and it'll build your character. I stand before you without arms and legs, but a very strong man because of the bad days in my life. You may have arms and legs, but unless you know 3 things. Number 1, who are you and what your value is? Number 2, what is your purpose here in life? And number 3, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those 3 questions, you're more disabled than I.
Just be calm. When things are going well, be calm. Don't think you're on top of the world in the sense. You always got to be wary because I've seen it. I've seen people come. I've seen people go. I've seen them come. I've seen them go. You got to be chill. Just take what's good in your life and move forward cautiously and carefully, and thank God that you have that. It's very, very important not to overextend yourself when you think you've got it. There's no such thing. Everybody's dispensable.
If you want to see if you're a brave person, wait when things go completely to pieces, when things are the worst, when your very best deal falls apart and your rent is late and you're tired and you're sick and everybody is mad at you and your car doesn't work, then it's the person that picks themselves up and says, nothing is going to stop me. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. No matter how rough it gets, I will never quit, and nothing will ever stop me. Make the decision that you can be tired, you can be worn out, but nothing is ever going to stop you. It's a wonderful feeling. It's the basis of self-esteem.
I had a conversation with a friend one day. We was talking about family and life, and I asked him, how do you see your kid's future? And he said to me, my grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. He said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors.
Here's what you should know about winning before you chase it. Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. Sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing. It's a mastermind to create fear and doubt in your mind. It causes setback after setback. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown? And why chase this thing called winning? Because the only thing that's guaranteed in life, don't chase it, is losing.
You've got to bet on you. You believe in everybody else, you clap for everybody else, you support everybody else, you baking cakes and making cookies for everybody else. But when are you gonna look in the mirror and believe in the darn person you see? It's about time for you to believe in you, because you got it.
Until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, only then does it start to break down tactically how we can do this. Until then, you're gonna always lose.
I want you today to decide, I am going to become disciplined. That should be your only fucking goal. Because if you develop the ability to say no to the guys' nights and the girls' nights, to say no to the alcohol, if you develop that discipline, how different will your life look a year from now?
I've often got a picture in my mind of a conversation that's going on up in heaven. God looking down at Dwayne, and the angel walks up and says, man, what a loser. I mean, look at him. He just lost his temper again. He just failed at that again. He just crashed and burned again. Man, I like to picture God looking down and saying, yeah, but that boy just won't quit. Watch him. He'll get back up, and he'll get up swinging, and he'll try again. He just don't quit. Don't quit. Get off your butt. Get out of those stands. Get in the arena. Get dirty. Get sweaty. Get bloody. Get knocked down. Get back up. And when people point at you and laugh at your failure, say, yeah, I'm in the arena with a sword in my hand, and you're sitting up there in the stands with a biscuit in yours. Who's more proud?
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70, because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
The best way to contend with problems, with issues, with adversity is action, is by taking action. The more you sit and the more you wait and the more time you spend with that adversity, with the upper hand inside your head, the worse it's gonna get. Something doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, you didn't get the job you wanted, you didn't get the hire, you didn't get the promotion, you can go home and sit there and dwell on it. That's not getting you any progress. Or you say, okay, you know what? Let me do a quick analysis. Why didn't I get that promotion? Oh, it's because I didn't get this qualification, or I hadn't jumped through this gate. Okay, cool. Let me look into how do I get to jump through that gate so next time I will get the promotion, and you start taking action.
I want you to admit a failure that you've made, that you're obsessing over. Can you say enough with the dissection of that failure, and instead maybe forgive yourself, let it go, release the guilt, turn the page, move on, change, and give grace her time of day? Now, admit a success that you had, or something that you do pretty darn well on a consistent basis. You know, at work, a way you care for your child or sibling or your spouse. Whatever that something is, I want you to give more credit to it, give more respect to it, have more gratitude for it. Now, will you commit to dissecting the successes instead of the failures in your life? Because I believe that the recipe for your particular secret sauce is under the hood of what you do well, not what you don't. So will you dig deeper into the why of your successes? You do that, and you're going to start to have more success more often, I bet you.
I made the mistake in my life that I didn't, and it was well-intentioned,
I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I didn't want to offend them or upset them. And so I dealt with the difficult thing in my head and tried to come up with the solution that I thought best looked after my needs and your needs, because I wanted, but if I told you this, I would burden you with the stress of having to figure this out. So I'll figure it out and then I'll make the decision that I think is best for us. It failed every time. Because the mistake that I made is I treated the relationship as an individual when it's not, it's two people. And the problem with a relationship with two people is I'm not in total control of the relationship. Remember, I'm a member of a group, I'm a member of a tribe, I'm a member of a team. I'm not in total control of everything. And I have to relinquish some control. And the thing we have to deal with more than anything is fear.
There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going.
Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have, the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. A pine tree grows and matures very fast. An oak tree grows and matures very, very slow. But which one lasts longer? And which one is stronger? Which one shelters more critters and more birds? Which one, when it's done and over and it's cut down, which one is more valuable for the lumber? People don't go out and say, I'm going to spend extra money for some pine furniture. They want oak furniture.
The masters make the hardest things in the world look easiest. And in the moments where you push yourself, when no one else is around, those moments have a tendency to lead to success.
The guy whose last name is Lamborghini, he wasn't a car manufacturer. He was a man who owned tractors, but he drove Ferraris. And he went up to the Ferrari man because he knew something about engine parts. He made a suggestion to the Ferrari man about how his cars could be a little better. And the man who owned the Ferrari company looked at the tractor man and said, your advice is not important. Because see, sometimes you don't understand that there are Ferrari people now, but you have a Lamborghini destiny. And what he did is, instead of arguing with the man who owned Ferrari, he went and created the Lamborghini and fixed what was broken in the Ferrari. And then let me tell you something, some of y'all keep arguing with Ferrari. Would you just become Lamborghini? Why are you arguing with people, trying to convince them of your destiny? Would you just do something, and would you just start something so that you can give all of us an alternative? Do you know you can be just as fast? You could be just as beautiful. You could be just as durable if you do something.
I have spent my whole life scared, frightened of things that could happen, might not happen. 50 years I spent like that, finding myself awake at 3 in the morning. But you know what? Ever since my diagnosis, I sleep just fine. I came to realize it's that fear, that's the real enemy. So, get out in the real world, and you kick that bastard as hard as you can, right in the teeth.
While you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win.
One of the things limiting you from your income, your impact, a world-class life. You care too much about what people think about you. You can be world-class, you can fit in with the world, you don't get to do both. One thing I've learned is everyone has an opinion. Why let the opinions of other people deny you from a life that will make history?